Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today this is a really exciting video because we're going to be talking about a zero waste guide to Christmas, gifting of course. And it's particularly exciting because recently I've been talking about community and collaboration over competition. So this video is in collaboration with another YouTuber called SHELBIZLE'S, I love her name, who is an American YouTuber. And she also shares my values very, very deeply, and she talks about zero waste living as well. She has a wonderful channel that has lots and lots of DIYs and lots about how to make your own makeup and zero waste swaps and all of that kind of stuff, which is so cool. I think it's so important that we really share in community and really help in collaborations, because at the end of the day this movement is incredibly important, and the more people we collaborate with, the better everything is going to be. And she is my American counterpart, I would love to say, because she is going to be a better resource for helping you guys in terms of brands and products she's happy to support that are American based. Obviously it's best to try and shop from your own country because then you can be much more zero waste. She's also doing a video and it's going to be more on kind of zero waste stocking fillers. I think that's a much bigger thing in America, hence why I'm not including it in this video. So I'm going to put her video down below because these videos are going up at the same time. And I would love it if you went over there and showed her some support and, you know, gave her some praise for also being a wonderful zero waste advocate. So without further ado, I'm going to explain the video a little bit because it's going to be quite a long one. So you might want to grab a cup of tea and maybe a vegan mince pie and sit down. To make it easier for you guys, I'm going to put the chapters down below so you can skip to whatever you think is most relevant to you. I don't want you to have to sit through something that might not be particularly relevant, so all that information is going to be in the description. So the first part, we're going to be talking about actual physical gifts, but from a much more conscious perspective. I recently discovered this department store online called WEARTH, which is WEARTH but pronounced Worth, and they are the only department store that I have ever come across that allows you and helps you to shop consciously. To be fair, they only just launched in October, but they're completely vegan and cruelty free. They help independent, local to the UK kind of artisans and shops. You can shop by your values, which is a new phenomenon that I don't think anyone else has ever done before, which I think is incredible. So for me, if I want to go on there and press like plastic free, vegan, etc., then everything's going to come up. And I spent a lot of time looking on their website to make sure I could actually find small independent companies I was happy to support. So that is going to be the first one. If you want to buy gifts for other people, or you're someone who wants to buy a present for a kind of minimalist, zero waste person, but you're not really sure how to go about that. The second part is going to be what you can buy people if you are trying to enable them in their zero waste journey. So if you want it to not be specifically about a gift, but more about something that will help them be more zero waste in their everyday lives. The third part is going to be actual zero waste gifting. So talking about experiences and making stuff yourself. And then also actually how to wrap your presents if you want them to be fully zero waste. And then the fourth one is going to be about giving. Now at this time of year, everyone kind of thinks about, you know, family and ourselves, and while that is also really great, it's also important to think about those who don't have the same things as us and aren't as lucky as us to have a wonderful loving family or a roof over our heads or even a hot meal on Christmas Day. So that's going to be the kind of 4 parts that this video is going to be in, and as I said, the chapters will be in the description below. So let's just get straight into the number one. The first thing we're going to be talking about is if you want to buy an actual gift because you're not at the stage yet where you don't want to be receiving or giving any physical gifts, then it's much better to support independent, local companies that have sustainability and zero waste as their core values. And this doesn't mean you have to compromise on anything like style or you know, I always say that I'm not a stylish person, but you don't have to compromise on those things if you are trying to buy local and zero waste. So the first thing that I want to tell you about is this wonderful company called Ara the Altar. It's a one-woman show, and she has a studio where she creates little silver rings like this one. This one is the lunar ring, and it's made out of recycled silver. She is a very, very conscious producer because she tries to make her production as minimal waste as possible. It's a really lovely, simple ring that she hand hammers herself to give it that really beautiful kind of texture. This lunar ring is inspired by the surface of the moon, and each lunar ring is made to order using recycled eco-sterling silver and comes in a range of different finishes. They buy reusable bags as their packaging, and she hand prints on every label so you can ensure that the ink is sustainable and that you're really minimizing how much waste is actually going into this production. So that's the lunar ring. The next one is this Soap Day Sensitive Skin Kit. Everything about this company I really, really love. The skin gift set includes one of their sort of hand-poured soaps, cleansing grains, organic rosehip facial oil, and a hand-knitted cloth made from recycled cotton yarn. So everything is vegan. They use oat milk in a lot of their soaps, which I think is wonderful, and they don't use anything like beeswax or anything like that at all. It's completely cruelty-free. And it's wonderful because Soap Days make all their products in small batches in Devon and only using natural ingredients. And the best thing about making everything kind of in small batches ensures that everything is zero waste or as low waste possible, because then you're not making a surplus at all. As you can see, the top looks like something like plastic, but actually it's cellophane, so it can be fully recycled, and everything else is cardboard, shredded cardboard, glass or paper. So it's all very sustainable and something that you can really make sure that you can recycle that material. The next one is a really wonderful kind of little necklace by a company called Smoke and Ash. Again, all of their products are made to order, and this whale tail necklace specifically gives 10% of the sales to a marine conservation society. This company is really, really into marine care and hates the fact that so much plastic gets thrown into our oceans every year. So not only are they a small local independent shop, they also have a cause behind why they are doing what they're doing. They believe that all animals in the ocean and of course on land deserve to live in a plastic-free environment. So everything they make is handmade to order by one woman called Sarah, and she makes all her jewellery at her home workshop in the southeast of England. The next one is something that I thought would be a bit more universal, because I realised that a lot of these gifts are traditionally girly, and I want to obviously give you guys some gender neutral stuff as well. So these little espresso cups are handmade by a company called Nina & Co, and they are so beautiful. Honestly, the craftsmanship, seeing them in real life, is so wonderful, and it's just a really lovely mix of colour. This espresso cup, or this set, is made by using earthenware clay from Cornwall and produced in small batches to maximise efficiency for a zero waste process. I realise I'm giving you a lot of information about each of these shops, but I think it's so important to do so because I don't want you to think that I have just chosen these items because they look nice, but I also want to share their story so that you really understand that these shops are tiny and they really care about the zero waste process and production that actually happens to get their item into fruition. The next one is a candle, and I chose this one because I thought candles would actually be a really great way to give a gift at Christmas, because it's something that everyone enjoys having a candle in their flat. It's something that comes in a glass jar so it can be reused afterwards, or it can at least be recycled, and it's just a lovely kind of addition. And plus candles are gender neutral, so it's nice to have something that you could give to anyone. So this candle is made by the Northeast Chandlery Candle. I apologise if I've got that wrong. And they're an independent candle studio based in Aberdeen, and they use environmentally friendly materials for every single aspect of their product, but also of their design. So each candle is hand poured in Scotland using eco soy wax, and 100% pure essential oils. So again, completely cruelty-free and completely vegan. And the wick is made from organic cotton and paper threads, and each candle comes packaged in a gift box made from recycled card, which is pretty awesome, I will say. And it's wonderful that it comes already kind of packaged up for you in that recycled card, so that you don't have to worry about buying any kind of wrapping paper to, again, continue to wrap it up. And the last one is a memory board, and I chose this again because I don't want it to just be kind of jewelry stuff. I also wanted to talk about some different homeware, because sometimes it's quite hard to buy good quality homeware that's not too expensive, but also that's actually in some way ethical or sustainable. Now, it's made by a company called Betsy, and Betsy make all of their furniture by hand in their Hertfordshire studio. All of their materials are sustainably and ethically sourced, and they love to turn pieces of old pallet and other reclaimed woods for their furniture. This memo board is handmade to order from reclaimed wood and comes in a range of different finishes and 2 different board colours. And for something like me, who I love to have my kind of reminders right in front of me, I'm not good at writing things down on my phone, I'm not good at writing things down in my diary. I need to have something in front of me to remind me of the stuff that I need to be doing, not forget, etc., because I have a terrible memory. So that's part 1 done, and I will leave links to all of these companies below, and to Worth as well if you're interested in just seeing the other stuff that they have. They only have 30 independent companies at the moment because, as I said, Imogen and Edward are particularly careful about who they choose to be on their website. Just a disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. This is a heartfelt video about companies I actually believe in, and it's a massive breath of fresh air to have a company like that actually around now. Although I will say I did get these items for free, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this video because why not share the love? Okay, so part 2 is going to be about what you can buy people for their zero waste journey. If you want to buy them a gift, but you want to help them actually become more zero waste and ethical and eco-friendly. So the first thing that I would definitely say is to get them a water bottle. Other things you can buy are Tupperware that are made from other materials, so you can make them from bamboo or stainless steel again, or even glass. These will last you a much longer time, you won't leach any horrible chemicals into your food, and it's a lovely gift to give because they look nice as well. So it's not just about, here's an item that's going to help you on this zero waste journey. It's all about, you know, helping people to see that it's actually nicer to not create waste. Other things that, you know, might help out as well are just buying or making some reusable bags, maybe a canvas bag, or something that your friend or loved one uses every day that you might be able to actually swap out for a much more sustainable one. Like, I love my Keep Cup, and my Keep Cup is something I use every single day, so this might be something that you might like to use as well. That probably sums it up for the kind of zero waste stuff, because those are the absolute minimum basics, and they're really good things to help people to move to a more sustainable lifestyle, but not kind of impede their progress too much. It's something that can really help them, but it won't be too dramatic a change. And then moving on to number 3. Number 3 is also about zero waste gifting in terms of experiences, memories, or even making stuff yourself. If you're a very handy DIY person, why not make them some reusable bags, or look up how to make a DIY mascara, for example. If you're wondering, all of my makeup that I'm wearing now is actually zero waste. It's all from zero waste shops, and I'm making a video about that next week, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Also, memories and experiences are going to be something that is always going to be better than a physical item. So for me, I don't accept physical gifts anymore from family or loved ones because I don't need anything. I have everything that I want, and I'd rather, if people are going to buy me something, it be an experience. So for example, this year my parents are buying tickets for me and my boyfriend to go to a show in London. Now that's something that we can share together, and we can go and talk about and then have a discussion about it afterwards with my family and tell them how great that gift was. Or, you know, you could use something like a gift voucher. For example, my sister loves to read, but it's hard to tell what she would like. So she always says, please can I have a gift voucher to a bookshop so she can go and choose the books that she likes and that she'll be able to read and then pass on to someone else. There are so many things that you can do in terms of experiences and in terms of making stuff yourself, that you don't have to resort to buying stuff if you don't want to. I think it's so important to show you though each step and each kind of alternative, because everyone is at a different stage in their zero waste journey, and I think it's so important that if you are going to buy things, as I said earlier, make sure you actually believe and trust in what you're buying and believe in that company as well, because your money is so powerful and it's so important that you really trust the people who are making and taking your money. So those are just a few experiences, but the Girl Gone Green has made a really nice and quite heartwarming video about minimalist gifts, so I'm going to put that down below as well if you'd rather go and look at that if you want some more information. And then let's talk about how to wrap your presents if you are going to be buying stuff. I like to go to shops, secondhand shops, and buy vintage scarves because you can get them so incredibly cheaply. I got mine actually free from a clothes swap that I went to a few weeks ago at 10 Cable Street, and I got these two really beautiful scarves. Of course, if you don't want to do that, you can use brown paper and tape as well, paper tape, because that's fully recyclable. Or you can actually hand make a material bag from some either excess material or from a material shop that you trust where their sources are coming from, and you can hand stitch a bag and put the item in there instead, and then they can reuse that bag afterwards. But I like to wrap them up in these kind of vintage scarves because then I know that they can reuse them if they want, and also it's a nice way to package something up really beautifully, but also to show people that there's a different way of doing it. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about a different type of giving. Every year when it comes to Christmas, we think about those immediately close to us. We think about our friends and our family and our loved ones and what we can do to make them happy. But there are also thousands upon thousands of people who are living in quite desperate need. You can do so many things to give this Christmas and give to people who need it the most. You can volunteer at places like Crisis for Christmas in different areas of London or the UK. You can volunteer at local soup kitchens. You can do any kind of volunteering at all. Or you could even go to secondhand shops or find any clothes that you don't wear anymore and someone else could do with that better, and take it around to people who might be living homeless and obviously, as it's getting colder, some people are quite obviously cold living on the streets, and it's so important to give our stuff that we're not using to people who need it far more. At this time of year, it's so important to reach out and really try and build your community and try and make connections with people that you might not have made connections with before. You forget how many people are alone or lonely this Christmas who might not have a loving family or a roof over their head. So I think it's so important to really be grateful for what you do have and the ability you have to buy gifts for the people that you love. So I'm going to put a few kind of charities that I love to support down below in case you're interested in sharing your time or your money or your clothes with people. So that is it from me. I really enjoyed making this video and getting everything together to kind of give you a different perspective on giving, to try and make sure that you guys are thinking about conscious giving and also conscious consuming, because it's so wonderful to give someone something and to make that person happy, but think about how much better it is to make sure that that item or that experience is going to be something that's not just to make that person happy, but for the betterment of the planet as well and for the people who live here. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will be trying to answer every single one of your questions to make sure that I can be as helpful as possible. Just one final thing that I wanted to say. In January, I am going to be launching a huge campaign on zero waste living, but it's not about showing the failures, but it's more about being positive and rewarding us for making good choices and for simply choosing to be better that day, that morning, that week. And it's going to be a 30-day challenge. At the moment I'm creating my website and we'll be able to get you guys to sign up there if you want to be a part of this challenge, but it's going to be a 30-day kind of reduction, zero waste type challenge, but I'll talk more of that in the next few weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I realise this video has been quite a long one, but again, as I hope the chapters were very helpful to you guys, any feedback would be obviously wonderful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you soon. Bye.